Hi guys, welcome to the channel today. I'm Lewis, and today we are going to be opening up this Bambu Lab A1 Combo. I'm a little late to the party on these unboxings, but I got one the week they came out, and obviously I liked it so much I got another one. So we're going to pop this open, we're going to go through its setup. I'm just going to kind of just show it off a little bit, you know, how it's set up, and you know, probably sing its praises, but we'll see. Anyways, let's get started. So, the box. What we got here? First thing we have is, you know, something to help it, like, you know, stay secure in there. Then we have, on the top of this box, our build plate and the quick start manual. So, and this is a quick start. Got a piece of cardboard. Then we'll take a good look at what's in here next. Let me get this folded down a little bit. So, in this here, let me see if I make a little adjustment. So what we got in here is we have a stand for our AMS system. Put that over there. We have a little toolkit. And these are parts also to our AMS system. Now what you're going to find with these is these are color-coded and they're keyed to different shapes so that you put them in the correct orientation. Now, depending on what time of year you bought this, or if you get lucky enough to find one, in this slot here, there was these little kits that they were selling. I think it was a Christmas promotion. And what those had was like little things that you could print out and build stuff, like some model motors and things like that. So this also comes with a Bambu Labs filament swatch kit. This is a bunch of little square swatches of what their filament colors look like. And they have something you can print out on their Bambu Studio to be able to set those in there to display them so people can see what you got. So next, we have the AMS system itself. What I'm going to do is set this back down. Getting a little weird there. So we have our AMS system itself in there. That'll sit in that stand. We'll get to that here in a little bit. We also have, comes with this attachment here. This screws in there. That's if you want to do a single roll of filament up on top of the printer. You can. So you have that. Power cord. Little thing for your discharge when it's purging. And then there was the meat and potatoes. Next thing we got our gantry. Put this in the back here. And now we're going to have the base. Just get that out of there. We got our base. We also have our, I guess you call it your Bowden tubes, your tubes for your AMS system. It comes with a little bit of the Bambu filament, very little bit. And it looks like that concludes what is in our box. So there we go. So now you got a whole bunch of crap on the table. So we're going to go back to our quick start guide that we have. Why? Because why not? Now I'm going to tell you from having done this once already, I put one of these together. this thing goes together pretty nice. At first I thought it felt pretty cheap with this plastic base, but it's solid. The parts inside of it are metal. I believe it's aluminum, and it was rock solid. I've been printing with my A1 for a little while now, and I love it. You'll come in here, we'll have our instructions. Basically, it'll walk you through step by step. So it's going to tell you remove, your build plate. It'll tell you your build plate goes on here, how to put it on there. We're not going to put that on just yet, even though the instructions say to. So once us flip it over, flip it 90 degrees on the opposite side of the screen, and use the key H2 to remove the number 4 highlighted screws on the bottom. So you've got these 4 highlighted screws. That'll release this bed. You got to be careful when you release this bed because it'll start to slide around. And you might also want to put this, because that screen, towards the edge of the table so you're not sitting it on that screen. Keep that in mind. So we're going to open up our toolkit. In that toolkit we have a bunch of screws, all kinds of screws. There is different grease and lubricants. There's extra feet. The original kit did not come with extra feet. That's kind of cool. Looks like we got some extra cutters and whatnot in here. And your Allen wrenches, just a little bit of extra doodads. And I really like these Allen wrenches that they included in this one with these little T's. And I thought that was a pretty cool touch. So let's go ahead and remove these 4 screws. Alright, then we're going to carefully flip this over. Now you can see now that this can slide around. Now, one of the things we're going to do while I'm thinking about it, because you don't want to forget this, let's go ahead and remove this protective film, because you don't want that on there when you start to heat this bad boy up. So now we got that. We're going to take our gantry, and one of the things we're going to want to do is we're going to move these wires out of the way. They'll be taped on there. Let's get those out of the way. And you're going to want to get your base in there. So make sure you got a good grip on this thing here. So you're going to want to put your base at about 45-degree angle so that you can sit it in there just like that. And there we go. So that's on there. Now the next step, it says, is to cut all these off. I think that's a step you might be able to come back to, but we're going to follow the instructions just because. Go ahead and get these chopped off. So you want to make sure you get all these zip ties, any of these foam pieces you want to get off of there. Plastic pieces also. There's some protective plastic stuff on there. So this ended up being like I said, I was shocked. When I first started putting this together, I'm like, man, there is not a lot to this thing. And I was like, man, I don't know, it feels cheap. And then it surprisingly wasn't. The more I started to put together, the more I'm like, this is solid. Don't let this plastic housing fool you. Just because it's not made out of something sturdier doesn't mean it's lacking in quality, because the rest of it is sturdy AF. So all right, so we got that. Oh, we got one more here. Boom, perfect. So all right, so we got that. So next, spin this around here. Oops. Be careful of your base. So when you spin this around, one thing you're going to see is we're going to move this up here. We're going to screw this together now. So this in the back will lift up, and then you pull it out. What's great about this is they've color-coded everything. What you're going to need next is this pack of screws that says for base housing. Let's flip to the next page. And it's going to have all these corresponding, if you can see them here. Let me see at the camera angle. See if I can lift this up a little bit. You're going to have all these corresponding green ones to screw these screws into. So make sure it's on there good. And we will go ahead and get started on that. There's going to be 10 of them in total. So we'll do these ones back here, and we'll slide this all the way to the back and do the ones in the front. Like I said, the setup on this is like brutally easy if you just follow the instructions. I was really happy overall with how this thing came together. And I think you guys will be too. I think this is a very sturdy starter printer for a bed slinger. And I would definitely recommend this bad boy. So I've been running it pretty much non-stop since I set my first one up. And I'm going to be going towards probably getting a lot more of these for my print farm. The price point's phenomenal for what you get out of this printer. Alrighty. And then, after you get the 10 in back here, you'll push this back, and there'll be 2 more screws in the front that you will put in. I'll do those real quick. Get that slid in there and screwed into place. You're going to see these little tabs on here. Like I plugged the green one in here already. This one is white, so get the white one in there, kind of tuck it down, and then you got a yellow one. You can see a little yellow tab. Let me put this way, a little bit easier to kind of get this run in there. This thing can be a little bit like I said, they're color-coded, easy to get to. That's a nice thing about them. They kind of get them in there. And voila. You can see, like I said, everything's where it needs to be, and it's in there nice and neat. So now, we can flip this bad boy over. We're good to go. Something else I'll recommend is slide that over a little bit. Maybe more towards the middle. I've heard some horror stories about it doing some funky things at startup. If you start it off the side, I don't want to tempt fate, so I just move the thing. So while we're here, we'll go ahead and put our wonderful bamboo print bed on. So we got that. There we go. So there we're good to go. We're assembled. We just gotta, voila, boom, bam, good to go. Hoo-yah. All right, get that bad boy off to the side. So next up in the old instruction booklet is, oh yeah, we gotta fit that thing. Now, I'm gonna tell you, when you're going through here, all these are labeled. Don't make the mistake that I made. I saw these screws that said for the scraper, and I'm like, oh, the scraper, that must be this thing. No, it's not this thing. this is the purge wiper, and you need this screw. So we'll get that in there. Yeah, I made that mistake, and I was trying to figure out why I couldn't get that thing on there. I'm like, why is this not long enough? This guy, he kind of just slots right in there, slides in, and then you just get that screw up in there. I'm also going to tell you, while we're here, an adjustment I'd recommend is right here there's a little nut, little screw, and on the side here there's a little button right, it's hard to see because of the light, but a little button right there. Loosen this screw in the back, and then press that button as far in as you can, hold it, and tighten that. My first one, I was having some problems with my first couple prints, and what that does is that helps tighten this belt. So definitely do that. That's a recommendation. You may not need to, but it can't hurt. So, all right. So now we're down to the AMS. I think I'm gonna pull up a stool for this. Get all of our pieces. Now, if you don't have the AMS, like I said, you have this thing, and this right here just kind of clips on top of it. There's nothing wrong with it. You can use it. I personally, whatever. I want the AMS. So, let's get all of our pieces here. All right. For the AMS stand. Okay. What's cool about this is, like I said, they make this stuff easy. We'll go ahead and cut this off. Booyah. They're numbered 1, 4, 2, 3. You'll just take your AMS stand, you'll plug that sucker in there. You got 4 screws. 2 screws on this side, 2 screws on the other side. It's pretty complicated, folks. No, actually, like I said, let's check it out. All right, and we'll undo our cord here, just because. So, I was telling you earlier, these things are color-coded, green and yellow, and they also are slotted in a shape, so you cannot put them on the wrong one. So green with green, kind of turn it a little bit at a time, then boom, it's on there. Like I said, you got to find it where it fits into the shape. We'll do this back form, same thing. That's a little easier. This side, like I said, they made this pretty simple to not screw up putting it together. 3D printers have come a long way since the end of 3 days. So, you got that. Next we have tubes. So you got a couple tubes here. You have this bundle, which is for the AMS, and you have a solo tube. That solo tube you're going to set aside and save, because what this tube is for this attachment. It plugs into the end so that when you are running a spool of filament on top, it runs through this tube and into the print head. So I'll just set that aside, hang on to it. You never know, you can use it as a replacement, extra, whatever you want to do. All right. So there's 2 different lengths of tube here. you want to look at you want to stretch this out and see which ones are the longer ones. And your longer tubes, you're going to want to put into slots 3 and 4. So if you look on the top here, these things are numbered, so you know which rolls are which rolls. So you're going to put your longer ones into 3 and 4. You just press them down in there. They fit in there nice and snug. I'm going to put your shorter ones into this side. Voila. So you also have this spacer here that holds those things kind of straight. And then that's it. And then you just insert all 4 tubes into the tool head. Now I don't believe it matters which ports they go into, because the AMS system will run off of these numbers, so you should be fine to put whichever ones into whatever slots. And if at least that's what I did. I haven't had any problems with mine. Let's set this aside. So what happens now is you put your printer here, and this goes off to the right side. Adjust this camera a little bit. In this spacer, you're also going to have a spot to clip this wire. It's the wires for the thingamajig, tool head, print head, whatever you want to call it. You know the thing. Boom. And you can kind of there's a little like rubber band here, so you can kind of adjust how these are in there, kind of clean them up a little. Then we can go and clip this wire into there, and that's that. Now, I try to set this a little off to the side so that you don't get rubbing on this with the wires. So you want to kind of set this off to the side. You also have to be aware of this is going to be this. This is going to come all the way over here from time to time. So all the way to this side from time to time. So what you want to do, I would move this over here so you know how much space you got. And then you can make adjustments. It'll be easier to make adjustments also too after you put, spools on there. But you can kind of just like I said, adjust that to where it works, and then you're ready to rock and roll. We're ready to plug it in, set it up, and go from there. All right, we'll peel this off here. Start cleaning up some of this mess. All right. So, in the back here, there are 2 ports to plug an AMS in at. It does not matter which one you plug it into. So I'm just going to pick one and go from there. AMS is plugged in. We're going to plug in our power cord. All right, power cord is plugged in. And then we'll turn it on. Let there be life. Give it a minute. So we'll come through here and they'll say, hey, welcome. Unleash your creativity. Okay, let's press start. We'll pick English, North America, and then select your Wi-Fi network. I'm gonna go ahead and get my password in. Use the Bambu Lab Handy app. So let's go ahead and get into our Bambu app. We will click Add Device, and you'll have an option to scan QR code. We'll go ahead and do that. And then it'll say, hey, what do you want to do? We'll confirm that that is our printer. It's waiting for Handy Bind, successfully logged in. And that's it. We're basically ready to rock. Login is successful. So it's going to want to do a calibration. It takes about 3 minutes. We're going to go ahead and do that calibration. And then you're ready to rock. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will talk to you later.